What feels better, unprotected sex or having it burn every time you go to the bathroom? According to the World Health Organization in the article Sexually Transmitted Diseases, they state that more than 1 million sexually transmitted infections, also known as an STI, are acquired every day worldwide. Now, I couldn't even imagine having one infection every day, but 1 million? Throughout this speech, I am going to provide you with information on the problem with not wearing condoms, some of the causes of STDs and STIs, and some solutions to these problems. So first, let's start with some of the problems with not wearing condoms. Now, I'm sure a lot of you can assume what happens when you don't wear condoms. The number one being pregnancy. But what most people don't realize is that there are so many diseases and infections that you can get just by not wearing a condom. In the article Preventing AIDS and Other STDs Through Condom Promotion, a student education prevention, it is stated that condoms are effective against a wide variety of diseases, including gonorrhea, non-gonococcal urethritis, trichomoniasis, and herpes genitalis, as well as AIDS. Condoms are very underutilized, especially among individuals who are most at risk. This includes those with multiple sex partners or those who have recently been treated for an STD. According to this research, not wearing condoms has put these individuals at a very high risk for disease and infection. This may affect young people more because they are constantly switching sex partners but not checking their health facts. So now that we have talked about some of the problems with not wearing condoms, let's now address some causes of STDs and STIs. According to Elena Hebling in the article Women and AIDS, she states that the women mentioned that adolescent girls are more at risk for getting infections like STDs and HIV because they are constantly switching boyfriends, they have greater sexual freedom, or they are not taking preventative measures. With this information in mind, you might find it hard to believe that people are constantly switching partners, but they're not checking the health facts or taking the right measures to prevent themselves. The reality of this is that many of us living today, especially kids my age, don't even know the dangers of having unprotected sex. Doing this puts relationships down the road between these people at a greater risk of infection because they weren't protecting themselves when these people were so carelessly getting around. In the same article, it is stated that the condom gets me less turned on, so that's bull. I shouldn't have to wear it. In addition to the fact that these partners don't like wearing condoms, it is reported that when they ask their partner to use one, they can breed mistrust between the couple, or they can express infidelity on their own part. And it might also seem hard to believe that the male is usually the one who decides if a condom is worn or not, because to my knowledge, a girl is the one getting pregnant, not the guy. But in this case, women usually tend to do whatever is necessary to please their partner, even if it means putting themselves in danger. In an interview I did with a woman who would like to remain unnamed, she stated that I thought I was dating a man who was only committed to me. This same woman actually got chlamydia and had to be treated with antibiotics. If she would not have been treated, she could have become sterile, which would have resulted in her never being able to have children. This is just one example of how diseases and infections can be spread through partners. You may be committed to your partner, but that in no way means they are only committed to you, which is very sad to say nowadays. When you think your partner is the only one committed to you, this can cause infections and the spread of diseases between people who you may have never even come into contact with. So now that we have talked about some of the causes of STDs and STIs, let's now look at some solutions to these problems. The number one thing I can tell you is don't have unprotected sex. It's as simple as that. If you're not trying to get pregnant, don't begin the habit. But for those of you who do have a lot of sex or are just drawn to that, There are simple things you can do to protect yourself and those you come into contact with. Most people just do the common thing and wear condoms. Having an STD test or an STI test is another way to help prevent the spread of disease and infection, or prevent the further spreading of any sort of disease or infection that you or your partner might have come into contact with. Other people like to just stick with one person or one partner, which is also called monogamy. But you have to realize the more you switch partners, the greater risk it's going to be for you to get diseases or infections. So today I have talked about the problem with not wearing condoms, some causes of why STDs and STIs are spread and obtained, and some solutions to these problems. I would like you all to strongly think about how these events would play out in your life and how you would handle them. My mom's friend died from AIDS after having it for 2 years. If he would have been more aware as to why he should have protected himself, he might still be here today. I would like all of you to realize how grateful you are to have the knowledge that you do on this topic, and to never take any simple pleasure in life for granted. Thank you.